I'm going to show you guys how to make these banana bread cinnamon rolls with the caramel pecan glaze. I'm not kidding when I tell you this might be one of the top 5 recipes I've ever made, so let's get into it. We're going to start by melting together that butter and milk until it reaches 110 degrees. Then we can add the yeast and let that bloom for about 10 minutes. Then we're going to add 3 super ripe bananas and mash them up inside the bowl of a stand mixer. We're going to add in some sugar and then that yeast mixture from earlier. Give that a mix, and then we can slowly add in the flour about a quarter cup at a time until it starts to come together. At that point, we're going to turn it onto our work surface, heavily floured, and knead that for about 3 minutes until it's nice and soft. Then we're going to place that into an oiled bowl. I used olive oil, and we're going to let this rise for at least 3 hours at room temperature, covered with a rag. Now let's prepare that filling. It's just butter, cinnamon, sugar, and super simple. Now we're going to roll out that dough. You want to roll it out to about 18 by 12 inches. While the dough was rising, it should have at least doubled in size, and once you've rolled it out, we can go ahead and place that filling in the center. I realized at this point I wanted to add a little bit more flavor in there, so I took some brown sugar and sprinkled that on top of the filling that we had melted. And of course, now we're going to roll it up nice and tight, but not too tight. You don't want things spilling out the sides. Once the dough is nice and rolled up, we're going to slice them into 1.5 to 2 inch slices, then place them in a greased 9 by 13 inch pan. At that point, we're going to cover it again with plastic wrap and let them sit for about 20 minutes and puff up real nice. Bake those off, and once they finish baking, we're going to make the caramel sauce. It's all the caramel sauce ingredients brought to a bubble over the stovetop. To make the vanilla glaze, it's just confectioner's sugar, some water, and vanilla until it reaches this consistency. Once the cinnamon buns have had a little time to cool, we're going to pour that caramel sauce right over it. This caramel sauce is so simple and so delicious. Then we're going to go ahead and spread it around a little bit. I'm using an offset spatula. And we're going to let that sit for a little bit, add some pecans on top, and then that vanilla glaze we made earlier, just go ahead and scoop about 2 to 3 tablespoons of glaze on top of each cinnamon bun. And to pack even more flavor and crunch on there, we're going to add some more pecans on top. This recipe is the product of throwing together banana bread, cinnamon buns, caramel, pecans, vanilla glaze, all that good stuff. I think my boyfriend ate 5 of these. So for the full recipe, visit thesqueakymixer.com, linked in my bio or in the comments. Enjoy!